Very good morning, class. Yesterday we have done the combination of cells, and if you remember, the condition we have taken is that the all the cells connected across each other, they are identical. It means their EMF as well as the internal resistance are same. But usually when you connect two different cells across each other, then the total EMF or the current will be different. So let's see, when EMFs of cell are different, then what will be the resultant EMF and the resultant resistance. So let's take the first case. I'm taking the series. We have two cells. First this is internal resistance, and this is the second one having internal resistance. This cell is E1, resistance R1, this is E2 and R2. Now these cells are connected in the same polarity. What does it mean? Have you ever take the torch and put the cell in it? So what is the sequence when you put cell into the torch? If you remember, we put the torch, let's suppose this is a torch, right? And this is the cell. We take the cell and put it inside like this, and another cell like this, and another cell like this. This part of cell is positive and this part of cell is negative. That means if the positive is connected to the negative, that means they are connected in the right polarity, right? So here you can see that this is positive and negative. Now negative connected to the positive, that means they are connected in the right polarity, right? They are not opposing each other, they are supporting each other. Now in this case, the total EMF, I'm taking the first case here. In this case, the total EMF E will be E1 plus E2, simple, and R will be simple R1 plus R2, that's fine. So now this circuit can be replaced by an equivalent circuit whose EMF E will be equals to E1 plus E2 and R will be equals to R1 plus R2. So this is a simple case when two cells are of different EMFs are connected in the same polarity. Now what happened if the cells are connected opposite to each other? They are opposing each other, right? Let's see. Second case. In second case, again the cells are connected in series, but now they are opposing each other. How? This is the cell whose EMF is E1, right? Resistance R1. Now this is positive terminal, this is a negative terminal. They will connect, they will support each other if the positive terminal of the other cell connected to the negative. But now here I have connected the negative terminal like this. Right, so that means they are opposing each other. So simply, in this case, what will be E? E will be E1 minus E2 when E1 is greater than E2, and if E2 is greater than E1, E2 minus E1. Okay. R will remain same. R will remain R1 plus R2. That is no problem. Okay. So the new circuit will be this. This is E, where E will be E1 minus E2 and R will be R1 plus R2. So that's how we do this case, right? So these two cases are possible in series. Now let's see what happened when the cell connected in parallel. When cells are connected in parallel, let's see. That was in series. Now we are taking cell in parallel, right? Suppose we have two cells, first having EMF E1 and second having EMF E2. This is E1, this is E2, resistance R1 and resistance R2, right? We have to make the equivalent diagram. What will be E in this time? In this case, equivalent E will be multiply E1 with R2, that is E1 R2 plus then E2 with R1, E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2. So this is the equivalent EMF in this case. What will be the total resistance? That's simple, they are in parallel. So R will be R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. So this will be the resultant EMF and the resistance. Now you can see here that they are supporting each other, right? And what happened if they are not supporting each other? Suppose one of cell is connected to the opposite polarity, right? Like this. Like this is E1 and this is E2. This is E1 R1 and E2 R, right? You don't have to do anything, just take the cell E2 as negative. Now put E2 as minus E2 in the formula, then you will get your EMF, right? So now in this case, what will be the EMF? In this case, EMF will be E1 R2 minus E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2, and the resistance will remain same because resistance doesn't change when the polarity of the cell connected to each other changes, right? So this will be the case. So please remember when you get such cases. Like I will give you one more example. When you have more than two cells are connected to each other, right? Then what you have to do? Suppose, all right. Let's say these are two cells, right? Let's say this is, okay, let's do one thing, connect them in same polarity. This is 3, this is 5, and they are connected to 8 volt. Now you can see here, they both are in the same polarity. So this will give you 8 volt. Now 8 volt is connected across 8 volt, and you know that in parallel voltage remains same. So the resultant EMF will be again 8 volt. Alright, so this is how we solve when the cells are not identical. Okay. Now we will start a very important topic of this chapter. We can say this is the soul of this chapter. Without understanding these, we have these two laws. You can't proceed in this chapter. There are so many numerical based on this topic, and the topic known as Kirchhoff laws. Start our Kirchhoff laws. इसको pause कर पहले. So let's start with the Kirchhoff laws. We have two Kirchhoff laws. First known as KCL, that is Kirchhoff current law, and the second is KVL, that is known as Kirchhoff voltage law. These laws are very important to find the current in any branch or to find the potential difference across any resistance. Suppose you have an electrical network and you have to find the current in a certain, we can say, branch, or you have to find the potential difference across any resistance. Then without these law, it's quite difficult to solve these problems, right? So let's start first KCL, right? KCL. It means it is the Kirchhoff current law. It is sometimes also known as Kirchhoff first law. Kirchhoff first law, or there is a one more name which is a very important thing. It is also known as junction rule, right? So please remember all three names: Kirchhoff first law, junction rule, and the KCL, which is Kirchhoff current law. Now, what is the statement of this law? It states that in any electric circuit, the algebraic sum of electric current meeting at junction, at any junction, is 0. Alright? In an electrical circuit, the algebraic sum of electric currents meeting at any junction is equals to 0. Now what does it mean? You will understand it better with the help of a diagram, right? Now suppose you have a junction. Now what is junction? Junction is a point where number of branches meet, right? Like you have heard like junction station, right? Like Muradabad junction or Bareilly junction. Junction is basically, if we talk about in terms of station, that from that station so many we can say paths are connected to that station, right? Train is going to Lucknow also, they are going to Varanasi also, there are so many paths connected to it. Similarly, in the electrical junction at a point, there are so many branches connected, like this is 1 branch, 2 branch, 3 branch, 4 branch and 5 branch, right? So this point, let's say this O point, is known as the junction. Now in this junction, some of the current are leaving the junction and some of the current are going toward the junction, right? Let's say this current I1 is coming toward the junction and I2 is also coming toward the junction, I3 is going away from the junction, I4 also going away from the junction, and I5 is coming toward the junction, right? You can have n number of currents leaving the junction or coming toward the junction. Now, according to the Kirchhoff law, we said that the summation, that means the algebraic sum of the current meeting at any junction is 0. This is the mathematical statement or mathematical, we can say, equation for the Kirchhoff law. Now we know that algebraic sum, we take terms with their signs. So some of the current will be taken positive, some of the current will be taken as negative. Now what is the sign convention? So it's a very important thing. See here, sign convention. It's quite simple. The current which is coming toward the junction will be taken as positive, and the current which is going away from the junction, that is leaving the junction, will be taken as negative. Okay, what I said? Current coming to the junction will be taken as positive, and current leaving the junction will be taken as negative. Alright, now see, let's apply the sign convention and see what is the value. I1 is coming toward the junction, that means it will be positive. I2 is also coming, I2 is positive. But I3 is going away, leaving the junction, it will take as minus I3. I4 is also going minus I4. I5 is coming plus I5. So this is the algebraic sum, and this must be equals to what? This must be equals to what? 0. You can modify this equation as I1 plus I2 plus I5 will be equals to I3 plus I4. Right? This is also right. Now can you see what you can observe from this equation? You can see that I1, I2 and I5, they are the current coming toward the junction, and I3 and I4 are the current going out of the junction. So this equation states that in any electrical circuit, the current coming to the junction is always equals to coming out of the junction, right? So this is also one equation, or we can say one statement of Kirchhoff's Kirchhoff current law. So I hope you understood this part. Now let's see the second law. Kirchhoff current law. Sometimes question arises that Kirchhoff current law shows which conservation law. So always remember that KCL shows the conservation of charge, because the amount of current coming inward the junction is also going out of the junction. That means there is no accumulation of charge, or there is no we can say diminishing of charge. The charge is not created, neither be created nor be destroyed, right? So always remember KCL shows the conservation of charge. Now let's see the next law, the second law, which is known as KVL, that is Kirchhoff voltage law, or simply Kirchhoff's second law, and it is also known as loop rule, right? So let's see what is the statement of this law. So this is our second law of Kirchhoff. What it says is, in any closed loop of a circuit, the algebraic sum of the products of current and resistance in each part of the loop is equal to the algebraic sum of EMFs in that loop. That means suppose you have a closed loop. Closed loop means you can take the screenshot because I'm going to rub it. Now what does the statement mean? Suppose we have a closed loop having so many, we can say EMFs and resistance like this. Okay, and this is completely closed. Now this is, we can say E1, this is E2, this is E3, this is R1, R2, R3. Let's say that we have also one R4. So it says that the summation of current multiplied to the resistance is equals to the algebraic sum of the total EMFs in that loop. Okay, so you will understand this law better when I will show you with the help of a loop diagram, right? In which we have number of current, number of, we can say, branches are there, and number of resistors are there, and we have also some cells, right? This law states or we can say this law follows the conservation of energy. Like in the that loop rule is shows the conservation of charge. This shows conservation of energy, right? I will explain you how to apply this rule and what are the sign conventions. The most important thing is in this law is sign convention, right? What when the IR is positive and when the IR is negative, when the EMF is positive and when the EMF is negative. This is very important. So I will tell you in the next class. Please do connect because this is very important to understand the sign convention of the loop rule. Alright class, till then thank you so much.